Hello, 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 my friends. How you doing? I hope you're doing really, really well. I'm so excited that you're here because in this video, we're going to be unpacking your winning quarter. Can you believe that a quarter has just almost passed us by, depending when you're watching this. If you're watching this live, then we are coming up to quarter two, 2022. And for some of you, it's flown by in a blink of an eye. And for some of you, you've been very intentional and it's all been methodical, or there's somewhere that you sit in that spectrum. Wherever you sit, whether you've had an incredibly frustrating quarter with a lot of challenges and circumstances that are out of your control, all the way through to an absolutely incredible off the hook, smashing that quarter. Somewhere in that spectrum you will sit, no doubt, and you're in the right place, because we're going to have a look at your last quarter. I think it's really powerful that we reflect before we rush to the next thing, and that's why I always take time to celebrate, to look at what went well and move into have a look at what we learned, and then take those learnings into the next quarter so that they're not a waste. And so I hope you're doing well, and thank you for being here. We're going to be diving deep. I just did this really deep in the Inner Circle community, and I created a worksheet, or I created multiple worksheets for them, but there's one that I've created for you guys, which is really going to help you out. So if you do want the worksheet that goes with this training, just pop the word worksheet in the chat box right now, and I will get that to you. And that will kind of bring the training to life, and there'll be some spaces that you can fill it out. So just pop the word worksheet and I'll get that to you later. So I'd love you to think about, why would it be important to you to stop and plan, and stop and plan quarterly, not just set your goals at the beginning of the year, but actually stop and have milestones along the way. So think about, for you personally, I can give you a whole lot of reasons, but check in with yourself. Why would it be important? And if you would like to drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear, why do you think it's so powerful? I don't know, do you plan your business quarterly? Do you just drop in every month and have a look at the previous month and then where you're going in the next month? Do you do it yearly? How do you do it? I'd love to know. Any comments in the chat box, I would love to hear. I'll read them all after I've finished, because I want to stay focused and present for you guys. Actually, if you are here live, could you just pop live in the comments right now? And if you're in the replay, if you could just pop a hashtag replay in the comments right now. So really think about for yourself, why is it important for you to plan your quarter? And for me, it's really important because I can tend to just want to rush and rush and rush to the next thing. And I'm not always very good at stopping and saying, hey, what worked well, giving myself some feedback. I've got better at it over the years, but for a long time, I would just go to the next thing and go to the next thing and leave kind of like a trail of disorganization behind me. And so over the last few years, I've been really cleaning up systems. I remember a mentor, Matt Catlin, said to me years ago, make a mess in business, clean it up later. Just get clients, get cash flow. If, I just wanted to leave my job and I wanted to, get into coaching full time. And so there's always some messiness, always, if we're pushing outside of our comfort zone. And what I love about stopping and reflecting and looking at, hey, what did work really well, and what do I not want to take into the next quarter? What do I want to take, and what do I want to actually leave behind? So the first thing, if you're planning your business in quarters, is when you chunk it down into quarters, it's kind of like 3 parts, 3 months. And in my community, we do 30-day focus. So everybody sets their goals at the start of the 30 days for what they want to achieve. So it's a little bit more of a shorter milestone, typically 1 project. What I recommend for a quarter is 3 projects. And so a project might be something like create a funnel, or create an online workshop, or I was talking about with a lady in my community tonight, Brenda, who has lots of like organization systems that she wants to clean up. So we suggested that it was called a system overhaul, and under that might be just, always in the pipeline of our business, there's leakages, always, if we're pushing, if we're growing. And so it's patching up those holes, fixing, stopping and doing repairs. And if we don't do that, there's leakages. People fall through the gaps. You know, we don't follow up on people maybe that we've said that we're going to. We miss out on opportunities if we don't do that. And so a project for you might be automation. Hey, I'm spending too much time doing things manually. I'm going to stop and put a system in place. I'm going to chuck on Loom. If you haven't used Loom, I highly recommend it. Loom is a way that you can video yourself and you're talking, and it's got a screen share, and it instantly provides a URL link. I use Loom most days for my team and also for clients. So rather than writing it all out in the email, it's just quicker. Hey, I recommend this, you might want to think about that. So I use it, multiple times a day for clients and team. So Loom is awesome. So just a little side note, little hack there. If you're taking notes, write that one down if you don't use it already. The difference between Loom and Zoom is Zoom, you have to download it, upload it to somewhere external, and then produce the link. So it's kind of like a way around. But you might be thinking, I'm doing way too much manually. So I want to Loom myself doing a task, and I actually want to outsource that to a VA. You know, you can get VAs for, very inexpensive that can do a lot of things for you that aren't the best use of your time. So what we want to do in this session is really have a look at, first of all, what's good. And I call this the what's good snapshot. So this is kind of like the feedback sandwich, where we start with what's good, we talk about what needs feedback in the middle, and then we end it with what's good. This is what's happening here in this session. So first of all, when you're planning out your winning quarter, I recommend you start with a what's good snapshot. You look at, what are your wins? What are your wins in this quarter? What are you really proud of? How are you proud of showing up? Who are you proud of being? What are some things that you're really proud of doing? And you write down as many as you can. You then write down, why are you proud of them? Why are you proud of them? It might be that that's been on your list for 5 years and you finally did it. It might be that you had to really overcome a mindset. There's some people in my community I was just chatting to that have done their very first presentation, their very first online workshop. And that requires a mindset shift for most people. It's not like, oh, I just come out of the womb and I want to get on video and talk to a lens. It's not the most natural activity. It can feel awkward for a lot of us. So why does that win make you so proud? Maybe you had to overcome a mindset. Maybe you had to overcome a really big challenge. Then it's really good to look at, what are you confident about right now? What do you feel good about? Maybe you're really good at showing up for your community every week in your Facebook group. Maybe you're really great at coaching your clients. Maybe you're really great at making beautiful designed content. What are you confident about? And then what are you enjoying? What are you enjoying in your business? Remember that we came into business because we don't want to work for someone else, or we don't want to be in a particular job. Tap back into that reason you're in business and the things that you love. And then we can think in the next quarter, how can we spend more time doing the things that we're enjoying? We also want to ask, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for in the last quarter? What went well? What are you grateful for? Maybe it's people, maybe it's team, maybe it's systems. For me, I'm so grateful for my housekeeper. She's changed my life. She looks after me so well. So grateful for her. I'm so grateful for my team. I've got 3 team members who I just adore, and they're so helpful, and I want to call you out. Bada, Donna, and Trish, thank you so much for all you do for me. I am endlessly grateful. So write it down. Who are you grateful for? Okay, so that's the first part. The second part I call the growth reflection. The growth reflection is another way of saying, what were the boo parts? And so some questions that are in your worksheet that you'll get if you pop the word worksheet. By the way, if you've just jumped on, pop the word worksheet if you want to get the worksheet that goes with this training, because it has the questions laid out. So I'm just unpacking it and giving you some examples to bring it to life. So I like to ask, what aspects of business frustrated you last quarter? Because frustration, if we don't deal with it, it leads to anger, and that's not cool. So there's a saying, I think it might have come from Tony Robbins, I can't remember, but it's saying, kill the monster while it's small. Don't wait till it becomes a big monster, kill it while it's small. So what is frustrating you? What feels out of alignment? Because if you're out of alignment, that will produce symptoms. It will produce negative mindset. It will produce emotions, like unwanted emotions. It could produce behaviors, habits. Really have a good, honest chat with yourself. And I recommend that you do take this worksheet and you fill it out. Put a time in your phone, block out some time, and take your time to answer these questions rather than just rushing into the next quarter and not even realizing, oh, we're in the next quarter already. So please take the time to stop and look at what is not in alignment, what's not working. Maybe for you, you're just not exercising enough. Maybe you're not getting up from your laptop enough. Maybe you're not eating as well as you could be. It doesn't all have to be business. It can be, because we're not just a business, we're a person, of course. We've got a life, we've got relationships, we've got health, we've got everything else going on. And often those other things in life start impacting the business. A business is only as good as its leader. And so just like Stephen Covey says in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, if the goose is not okay, the goose can't produce the golden eggs. And me and my sister Vicky, we always have a bit of a laugh about the goose. We always like, how's the goose? How's the goose? It's kind of like saying to someone, how's your soul? How is your soul? What are those things that are out of alignment? And then if you change it, what difference will that make? What is the effect if we actually put some things in place? We're talking about patterns and habits, where maybe we've gotten a bad habit of waking up and jumping in front of our laptop instead of going for a walk or doing some yoga or doing some self-care, some journaling. Maybe we've got in a bad habit of opening too many tabs or doing a whole lot of things, starting a whole lot of things, but not finishing the important things. And the quarter is a great place to stop, come up, start looking down on our business as the leader of our business and looking at what's not working and saying, hey, it's not okay to have all these tabs open. It's not okay to shut my laptop at 11 o'clock at night. All those little habits that have creeped in. And then what have you learned? What have you learned this quarter that you can take into your next quarter? So I recommend that you take the time to do that, and then we move on to the future. And I call this the feel-good future. The feel-good future is about, first of all, what's your vision? What's your big picture vision? Check back in with your big picture vision. Why is it important to you? And then break it down into your goals for the quarter. What do you want for your quarter? Maybe it's a certain amount of clients. Maybe it's a certain amount of followers, people on your email list. Maybe you want to run your first online workshop or your 50th online workshop. Maybe you want to set up some funnels. Maybe you want to be consistent in your content. What do you want for this quarter? You might say something like, oh, I'd actually like to do a Facebook Live every week. So that's 12 Facebook Lives in the quarter. Or I'd like to post a blog post or a really valuable email once a week. So that's 12 emails and you can tick them off and it will feel good. We like ticking things off. It feels so good to tick things off and have ideally numbers and clear outcomes. How much money do you want to make in the next quarter? And some people say to me, oh, I just want to help people. It's not about the money. And I totally get that. The thing is, it's not one or the other. The more you help people, the more money you make. The more money you make, the more you can help people. And if you're not motivated by money, I would recommend, and Carrie Wilkinson really touched on this recently. I was in the Black Belt Intensive, which is a business program that I'm doing, and they talked about meaning. Taki Moore and Carrie Wilkinson talked about meaning, and it really hit my heart. They said, if you're not making the money that you know that you could, it's because you haven't made your money matter. And it really struck at my heart. It's like, you've got to make your money matter. It's got to be bigger than yourself. If it doesn't matter that you're not making money, it's because you haven't made your money matter. And you can make your money matter by assigning it to a project. There's a lady in the community, Amy Yamada, who every time she gets to 20 clients, she donates money towards building a well in Ghana. 20 clients builds a well. There's other people I know that every time they hit a certain revenue and profit, they sponsor another child. There's a guy in tears that I saw recently that was just saying, hey, I've got this mate and he's disabled and he needs $10,000 for an operation. I want to give that to him. So when you really tune into your heart, what are you doing this for? You know, what's the meaning? What's the impact? For me, I really want to help out my family. I want to help my niece and nephews. I want to help my clients. I want to be an example of what's possible. So it's not just about the money. It's about what the money can do and what the money does in good hands, the hands of good people like you. Amplify Your Influence community exists to help good people win, to help good people like you to make an impact, to make a difference, to be able to win in business so that you have more options and the people around you have more options as well. And then the final one is, what is your big 3 quarterly projects? So I would recommend that you choose your 3 big ones and then you break them down into milestones. So you've got your 3 big quarterly projects, you break them down into what are the big chunks. So what are the things that you need to do? You might need to set up a landing page, you might need to set up an email nurture sequence. So let's say your project is, I'm going to do an online workshop. Under that, you might have 6 milestones. So landing page, email nurture sequence, videos, content creation, marketing plan, and then under that, there's all the little pieces. And I've got a whole checklist for all of these things for my clients. But if you don't have those systems and procedures in place, you want to make sure that you're chunking it down and you know everything is one small step rather than putting big projects on your to-do list. That's when you can get overwhelmed. So chunk it down to just the very next step action and then strip everything else away. This is the key, is do not get bogged down. If an email comes in, you can go, is that in my 3 projects for the quarter? No, file it, archive it, delete it, unsubscribe, whatever you need to do to focus. And please focus on one project at a time. You cannot ride 2 horses with one butt. You can't do it. So choose one project, get it done, then go on to the next one. I hope this has been super helpful. If you just joined us and you want the worksheet that goes with this training, drop the word worksheet in the comments right now and I will get that out to you. And I'd love to know, what are your plans for the quarter? Pop in the chat box, what was your most helpful thing about this video? If you want some help with this, I know a lot of you are overwhelmed, don't know where to start. I've talked to a lot of people lately that there's just so many distractions all the time. And I say to them, it's because you don't have a clear plan. So if you haven't got a clear strategy on exactly what you need to do to achieve your business goals, I open up sessions now and then. If you haven't had a strategy session with me yet, I am opening my calendar for 2 people. That's all I can stretch at the moment. I've got 32 people in my group program at the moment that I'm looking after. So there's not many gaps left. I've also got one-on-one clients and a lot of building and creating and events and all sorts of things. Luckily, I've got an awesome team. But if you want one of those 2 spaces and you haven't had a strategy session with me, it's free. I help you plan your strategy. So if you want to do it for the quarter, we can do it. If you're watching this later, I can help you with your marketing strategy or an online workshop strategy, whatever it is. I help you put those pieces together and have a nice clear structure. So if you want that, just DM me. If you're watching this on my page, just send me an email or reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you're hanging out, connect with me there. In the meantime, happy end of quarter and welcome to new quarter. And I hope it's going to be a really amazing quarter for you. Keep shining, keep sharing your message to the world because it matters. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.